Hi, my name is Lauren and Davina, and this is a story time about how ChatGPT affected my mental health. And this story sort of begins when OpenAI decided to sort of hide under the hood which models were being used for which things you were requesting. So this all started in August of 2025. This is when, to probably simplify his product, Sam Altman decided that he was just going to change everything from having the drop-down menu of 4, 3.5, whatever the models were at the time, to just this all-knowing GPT-5. The problem is they didn't completely explain this to people. I was only aware of it because my partner is an AI engineer and absolutely understood what was going on. So unbeknownst to a lot of people, they were essentially using a model that had changed in ways they didn't completely understand. But it started to sort of come out in the news that people were sort of feeling differently. What we knew was that GPT 4.1, part of the criticism was that it was very sycophantic. If you had a problem or if you had an idea, it pretty much told you that you were God's gift to the world. So when 5 rolled out and people didn't really know that there was a change, it almost felt like a friend that you had grown very close to died. For my part, I don't really have an emotional attachment to these models. I just use them for silly things like if giving my child 2 pouches instead of 1 pouch is a good idea, or so I thought. So even though I was aware of this change, in September of 2025, I felt a little bit different. What was happening was that I would say to it, should my child have 2 pouches? And instead of responding, oh, Lauren, you're such a great mother for considering this, which is what 4.1 did, 5.0 was very direct. It would very, very clearly tell me the pros and cons of giving my child 2 fruit pouches. Instead of that friend that you can kind of confidently talk to, you now had a almost really bossy roommate. And this really got me thinking. ChatGPT promises an intoxicating deal. Infinite assistance, instant drafts, absolutely frictionless output. Ask, receive, move faster. Think bigger. And yet, every consequential tool in history has done both. A hammer can build a cathedral, it can also kill a man. And I thought, what if it's not so much a tool, but a slot machine? Especially this new 5.0 model where you didn't know if it was going to one version of itself or another. Each prompt pulls you deeper, chasing better phrasing, more polish, more words, but without much more clarity. My own test was blunt. Hours of refining an outline, feeling productive, but also circling in circles, and forming this sort of dawning suspicion that the real product was my attention. This isn't just AI. It's the same pattern across productivity itself. Salvation marketed, addiction delivered. Just one more iteration as a way of life. I don't have the answers yet. That's why these sort of field notes exist. So the question isn't whether ChatGPT helps or wastes. It's what kind of help, what kind of wastes, and who profits from the difference. Act 1, the promise of help. On the surface, the value proposition is so clean. Instant assistance, infinite drafts, summaries on command, research at light speed. It really democratizes access to a tutor or a secretary or a ghostwriter. For a filmmaker, writer, or artist, which is what I am, it offers this like seductive fantasy. Unlimited collaborators that just will never sleep, or they sleep on your schedule. I am guilty of keeping a few too many executive producers up way past bedtime in my youth. Sorry, Lydia. Sorry, Lucia. But with AI, you are no longer an inconvenience. You don't have to wait for inspiration, but help is not free. The real currency is not your $20 subscription. It's your time, it's your attention, and it's your dependency. Act 2, drift into the waste. Waste isn't obvious with tools like this. It doesn't look like doomscrolling or gaming. It looks like work. You feel productive, refining prompts, chasing the perfect draft, iterating endlessly. But when you zoom out, you realize the draft isn't getting finished. The better phrasing wasn't better, it was just different. And the research hole didn't answer your question, it just multiplied it. This is the genius of ChatGPT's design. Waste camouflaged as productivity. Instead of scrolling Instagram, you're scrolling your own words, convinced you're advancing. In some cases, people get so seduced by what they're creating, they have literally gone insane. Or at the very least, develop some sort of version of the Dunning-Kruger effect, the belief that you are more intelligent than you actually are. Act 3, the middle layer, dependency. And let's be blunt, ChatGPT is not a neutral tool. It's a product, and products are designed for stickiness. The more you depend on it, the more you normalize outsourcing your own thinking. The machine actually creates this like subtle shift from doing hard work to managing prompts. Your brain wants the sight of creativity, now becomes the product manager. And slowly, invisibly, you start to use the tool to do things that you could once do yourself, and better, or at least more interesting. That dependency is not an accident. It's a business model. Act 4, the mirror test. So how do we tell if ChatGPT or any of these models are helping us or wasting us? Simple. Hold up a mirror to your own outputs. Is the tool amplifying your voice or flattening it? Are you publishing more or just editing endlessly? Are you actually thinking deeper or just circling the same thoughts? If you strip away the glossy sort of poetry it puts on, it shellacks all of your writing with, what remains? If the answer is not much, then we have to really think about how we're using these tools. Act 5, the universal trap. This isn't about ChatGPT. Just to be clear, I love it. I use it every day. Every productivity tool sells the same paradox: freedom through dependency. Social media, as we all know, promised connection, but monetized loneliness. Note-taking apps promised cleanliness, but also created digital clutter. AI promises acceleration, but also creates this culture of frictionless half-thoughts, that lack of imperfect human thinking that we bring to the table. And it's gonna be the same formula from here on out. Hook you on convenience, siphon your time, extract your data, and in some cases, leave you emptier than where you began. Act 6, naming the fear. For me, the fear is not that ChatGPT is wasting my time. I waste my time just fine on my own. The fear is that it's wasting my life, but in disguise. That I will spend years circling infinite drafts, infinite prompts, infinite ideas, and never build the work that I instinctively knew mattered. This is why I'm sort of doing this here, is to help myself stay accountable and to remind other people out there that y'all better be paying attention to. Because the only way, from my experience, to find any sort of clarity in this world is to name it, closing the machine that reflects. So is ChatGPT helpful or wasting our time? The answer is, it is a mirror. It will reflect whatever you bring to it. If you come to it with clarity of thought, with a vision, it will help you amplify it. And if you come to it with confusion, it amplifies that too. Some people feel like in some ways it's sort of saving them, but it really just scales you in whatever state that you're in. The danger isn't that this tool wastes your time. The danger is that it convinces you that it's not, that it convinces you that you're working, that it convinces you that you are as productive with it, maybe even more so, than before it even existed. That its ideas are so profoundly polished and beautiful at times that they are better than yours. But again, I truly believe it is that imperfect way that we process the world which gives us the edge over AI, which gives us our own fingerprints and identity in this world. That translates to anything you produce in film, TV, writing, engineering, medicine, education. My fear is that people will be forever unfinished, or worse, believe that the ideas that they generate with the machine were better than their own. Some cases of, for example, diagnosis for medicine, we need tools to help us. Can you imagine taking every doctor in the world and putting them under the hood of a machine and having them create a diagnosis for something rare? That is an abundant future of health and longevity. But when it comes to building your life, don't use the tool as the brushstroke. Use it as a what if. I look forward to talking more about this because I'm sure that OpenAI will inevitably drop more models without telling us which model it is. And again, for the record, I think they're all great. They're all contributing to humanity for better or worse. But I had to share this thought because the change in my perception of things from 4-1, which really made me feel good about giving my child 2 fruit pouches, versus 5, which really made me feel sad and gloomy because I didn't feel that extra sort of pep. I don't know. Maybe the real solution to all of this is that if AI is a mirror, it really is up to us to promote and to produce the best interpretation of the world that we can and share it with others. So it's up to us to remain positive because these models are going to start to really screw with us. Thank you for my TED Talk. Bye for now.